What's up, YouTube? Kristo here. I've got a video for you. Few things I want to talk about. I'm just going to do send to the day and a haul, but I also want to mention my obvious change of scenery. I actually did another video before this, actually like 2 weeks ago, in the attic, but I didn't like how it looked. I didn't frame my shot properly. You could see my feet. My head was like right at the top of the screen. Or at the shot, the frame, and I didn't like it, but I really liked the review. I think I got pretty much exactly what I wanted to say. So I'm gonna keep it, but I think after this, I'm gonna move my location back downstairs. Just doesn't look as good up here. It's really bland and boring. The lighting isn't as good, so gonna go back downstairs. I just thought I'd do this video to kind of explain why that video looks so out of place, and just to let you know I'm not gonna do it anymore, and I'm not gonna make you look at my bare feet again. So my send to the day, I'm wearing Two Man from Comme des Garçons, the EDT in the brown bottle, very beautiful, oily, incensey, woody fragrance. I think this is fantastic, and I've been wearing this a lot recently. Between this, Avignon, and Wonderwood, those are kind of like my three big fragrances at the moment that I've been wearing like pretty much once a week for the last couple of months. So it's been a long time since I've done a send to the day, done a haul video, so like I usually get to do, let us know your send to the day in the comments, and check in. I always love it when my viewers, subscribers check in. I'm a bit of a geography nerd, so I like to see where people are watching from around the world. If you don't want to say too specifically where you are, just let us know the country, city, whatever, wherever you're watching. I always kind of enjoy that. So there's my send to the day. Put that right there, I guess. Okay, so to me, this order kind of makes sense. It probably doesn't to you at all, but I don't know, there is a bit of, method behind my madness for this one. This is Land of Warriors from Vagabond Prince. I picked this up for a Black Friday sale back in, I guess it would be November. And we don't really get Black Sale Fridays. It's more of an American thing. We don't get them that much in Canada, but there are some places that will have them. If you're not familiar with Black Friday, it's like the Friday after American Thanksgiving, I believe it is, and it's kind of like the start of the Christmas season. So that's when everyone starts, decorating and going Christmas shopping. So a lot of shops will have really, really big sales, like 50% or more off on a lot of things. So I ended up picking up this for a very good price because I'd had my eye on it for a long time, and I do really, really want to review it. I think this is such an interesting, weird, unique, strange fragrance. Something that's really stood out to me like in the last year of like a lot of new things that I've tried. Next, this one, great cheapie. I even had it in my 5 cheapies in 10 minutes, Encre Noir. I only had a decant when I did that video because I left my bottle in Indonesia. It was just too big, too heavy to take up that much space for such a cheap fragrance. I ended up picking it up in a swap from someone in Canada, so that was really great. A couple of Serge Lutens here. Santal Majuscule, this was my other Black Friday purchase. Eugene and I got these on Beauty Spin for like 52 American dollars, which is like well under half the retail price. And this is a really great fragrance. I love it a lot. It does remind me a lot of Jeu de Peau from Serge Lutens as well, but there's definitely differences in here. And at the moment, I'm definitely enjoying this more than JDP, although both are fantastic. Another Serge here, this is Bois de Violette, which is supposedly non-export. Now, it's not impossible to find, like things like Fumerie Turque, but it's definitely not easy to find anymore. It's kind of like a sweet, powdery, slightly sour, floral, woody fragrance. It's not really my thing. I think it's nice, but I just had to get it for the price that it was available. It was a very good price. It's only about 50, 60% full, but it's going to just get even more and more hard to find. So I figured grab it while I could. This cute little fella right here, my second bottle of Perfumerie Générale. This is Papyrus de Sienne. I'm a really big papyrus fan. I love the note. It can have really earthy, oily qualities to it, both of which I love. Even though I can't say this is the best example of papyrus I've ever smelled, it is still really good and it is quite interesting and unique without being too outrageously over the top. It's going to be great for spring and summer when they finally roll around. Another one, I actually have had some pretty good luck recently buying perfume from eBay. In Canada, it's really hard. A lot of people either won't ship here or their shipping prices are just astronomical. Already on top of the fact that people pay such huge fees to list on eBay, you end up paying close to or over retail after shipping. So I've had very minimal luck, but this I picked up. This is Fade Sable Marocaine. I'm not going to say too much about it. I actually did a review with Chad for my channel, and we kind of mucked it up. We were just like really disorganized and kind of all over the place. And I watched it back after, I came home and I was like, you know what, I'm not happy with the review. So hopefully we're going to meet up in the near future and we're going to review this one together. So I'll basically just say that it's a very strange, very interesting, kind of spicy, balmy, resinous fragrance. It's very interesting. I've not tried much from Fade On. And, I'd say it's a pretty interesting scent. This one here, this is an interesting story. Odier 53 from Comme des Garçons, one of their most iconic and, puzzling fragrances they've ever made. The notes are just so weird. I got this in a very dangerous swap of Fragrantica. Basically, the guy tried to rip me off, but luckily, my policy on Fragrantica, because the rating system for swapping is so flawed. I have listed in my swap threads that I will not swap with anyone unless they have numerous positive transactions. And I made a deal with this guy, and he shipped his 53, and a couple days later he sent me a message. He said, "Oh, do you have your tracking for your bottle?" And I said, "No, you have no positive feedback from anyone. Go read my thread. I'm not shipping out until the bottle arrives at my house." And the guy started getting like really rude and like kind of aggressive in his PMs and stuff, like urging me to send the bottle out. And I just said, sorry, if it arrives and it's as promised, I'll send it out. And I got it, and it was missing the cap. There was no box, which, to be fair, he never mentioned there was or wasn't, and that's kind of my fault. But and it's also about 15 mil lower than he said it was. So I ended up getting it for quite a lot less than we agreed on. Rightfully so. Like, the guy definitely knew what he was doing. So be careful out there. Another Serge Lutens. This is cool. This is in a very good swap, an excellent swap. Thank you, Lorraine, very much. She actually watches my channel and got in touch with me on Base Notes and asked if I had anything, she had anything I was interested in. We ended up putting together a really cool swap. And this is my casing from my Rahat Lukum. But when you get these purse sprayers from Serge Lutens, you actually get two refillable atomizers. So you get 30 mil, you use it up, and then you take it out and you put in your other 30 mil, which I think is great. And I think these things look so awesome. So anyways, I ended up swapping my unused 30 mil of my Rahat Lukum for her unused 30 mil of Iris Silver Mist. And Iris Silver Mist, if you're not overly familiar with, it is non-export Serge Lutens now, but it is like just mythical in the Iris world. It's such a weird, daring, outrageous Iris fragrance. It's very dry and smells like straw to me, like straw or hay, like in a barn or at a farm, like a horse would eat, cows would eat. It's just so outrageous. I love it. I'm so happy to have it. I'll show the other one I got from the swap with Lorraine. This is Guerlain's Chypre Fatale, and I had tried it like once before, and I don't really remember much about it. I tried it kind of because the name sounded so good, but I know this line is kind of like sweet and girly and gourmandish. But my thing is, if it's sweet, girly, gourmand, who cares if you like it? So I tried. I don't really remember much about it because it was, months and months ago, um, well before I knew anything about getting this in a swap. So I kind of went out on a limb because also this is really panned on Fragrantica. A lot of people really hate this. I don't know why. There's nothing personally I find overly offensive about it, but yeah, not many fans of it there. So I got it, and yeah, I really like it. This is to me a really great substitute for my Tom Ford Noir de Noir, which is critically low, and I'm just kind of getting bored with it. It's just not as good to me as it used to be. It's kind of like a candied, boozy, rosy vanilla, which is pretty much exactly what Noir de Noir is. Now, in terms of like smelling similar, no, they're definitely different, but they clearly have like a similar vibe to them. I wore this to school a couple weeks ago and I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. This one, I actually forgot to put this in my last haul, but I showed this in my Sacco Shit video. This is Nautica's Voyage, and I picked this up at like Canada's version of TJ Maxx. It's called Winners here, and I got it for $3, discounted down from like 20, and it sucks. It's so awful. It's just like salty geranium, which actually sounds pretty good, but it's really not a very good quality fragrance. It does smell cheap and crappy. I don't even want to say synthetic because there's a lot of really great synthetic smelling fragrances that smell really awesome. But yeah, I know this has like such a cult following and there's so many people in the community that love this, but totally not my thing at all. This is a really great spring summer fragrance. I cannot wait to wear this. This is Panorama from Olfactive Studios. I tried this for the first time in Toronto with Eugene back in like August, maybe even before then. We went sniffing and we ended up coming across the entire, or at the time, the entire Olfactive Studios range. We went through all of them, and the only thing that either of us were really interested in was this, and we both really enjoyed it. Like even Chambre Noire, which everyone goes crazy for, it's okay, but it really didn't do anything for me. This just totally grabbed me. It's like a really spicy, fresh, green, sour fragrance. I love it, and I cannot wait to wear this. Like I've been thinking about this since I first tried it, and I got it for a very good price, slightly used. Okay, next, I picked up a backup bottle of Avignon from Comme des Garçons. I brought like 10 mil decant with me. I basically decanted the leftover from my bottle of this in Indonesia, and it's about 5 mil left. Found this for an awesome price. Had to buy it. Like I mentioned before, between this, Two Man, and Wonderwood, I've been wearing, those Comme des Garçons really often. This, I thought I'd throw this in just for good measure because I don't really give much love to the old classic men's fragrances, mostly because I don't love them, to be fair, but this is Yves Saint Laurent. It just says Yves Saint Laurent for men, which is interesting because I've always seen this as Homme, I believe. But this is like one of those old 1970s lemon toilet cleaner smelling fragrances. Actually, this is one of my favorite ones that are like the classic male citruses. And I got it for 75 cents at like a used charity shop. A Scent by Issey Miyake. I really liked this way back when it was first released, but it was just way too expensive over in Indonesia. Got a really good price on a 50 ml bottle at the drugstore, so I had to buy that. Very reminiscent of Chanel's Kristo, which I really enjoy. The EDT version I think is excellent. Another weird swap here, this time from Base Notes. This is Eau d'Italy's Bois d'Ambry. There was a guy that put forward a swap, and we were going to swap his bottle of this for my bottle of Serge Laufroy. And he had a couple negative feedbacks on his feedback index, and I was like, you don't have much feedback, you don't have much feedback recently, and some of your feedback is negative, so I would like you to ship first. And he's like, yeah, no problem at all. Told me he was 80% full, arrived in the mail, it's about down here, so it's like 20%. And I sent him a message like, hey, this is definitely not what you promised. You either need to send some cash or send another bottle or something. He said, okay, here's my bottles, what do you want? I said, okay, I'll take that. I said, okay. 3 months ago, haven't heard from him. Bottle never came, never replied to me, never emailed me back, nothing. So I have no idea what's going on. I've still got my Laufroy kind of sat to the side, but another weird swap. This is an old one I've had for a while. This is the Cobra and the Canary from Imaginary Authors. I bought this way back, maybe July or August. Forgot to put it in my haul though. And it was my first Imaginary Authors I'd ever smelled. There's quite a lot of hype around Imaginary Authors in the YouTube online community. And this one I was really pleasantly surprised. It's got lemon, leather, and tobacco leaf. And it's really interesting. It's really unique. I'm hoping to get some wearings out of it during the spring. But yeah, I like it. I think it's really different, really unique. I had a City on Fire. I bought from someone for a pretty good price. God is like, man, this is really underwhelming. I actually just turned around and sold it quite easily because was kind of hyped up, but that one didn't like it all. So I'm kind of 1-1 with Imaginary Authors. 2 more here. Last 2, I should say. Nuit de Tuberose from L'Artisan. I got this from Strawberry for the Christmas sale, Strawberry Net, and it's really weird. There's a lot of kind of negative scathing reviews for this online. A lot of people really hate it, find it too weird, strange, offensive. It's kind of like a really meaty, fleshy tuberose with some weird exotic spices on top, which is really clashing. And I can't really tell if it's a good clash or a bad clash. I think it's going to be good for spring. So wait and see how it fares before I, pass ultimate judgment. But it's definitely something unique. Last one, best for last. This is Carnal Flower from Frederick Mall, and this has been another excellent used bottle I've picked up. A woman in Toronto listed this online on a site similar to Craigslist, Kijiji, and 100 ml. She only used maybe 5 ml out of it with box. I got it for about half the price of retail with tax. So I'm ecstatic because this is a really, really beautiful, really special spring fragrance to me. So I cannot wait to wear this. I actually wore it a couple days ago when it warmed up. It warmed up slightly and then it got really cold again. So I got to wear this. It's it's so good. So anyway, there you go. Not a bad little haul. Some really interesting things here. Pretty diverse, I guess. Send to the day right there. Let me know what yours is. And I will be back down to the living room for my next review rather than looking at my strange attic up here. So thanks for watching, everyone. See you again soon.